I think all these things happen at the time they're meant to happen. I think, funny enough, if we had got together at the start when we were working together, because you know when you're working together first, you can kind of get on each other's nerves.
It's good. It's crazy busy, and trying to juggle everything is really, really difficult. I'm like, even to be here for a few days, I find really, really hard. You just have to...
It's one of the many reasons why walking out here is always a privilege, and why being back here tonight truly puts flesh on my bones. He was doing more than hosting a show. He was asserting his resilience, his determination to reclaim agency over a narrative that had been spinning out of his control. And here's another hook for you. If you're captivated by stories of resilience, of reinvention, of courage under the public gaze, smash that subscribe button now, because this narrative is far from over, and you'll want to follow every twist, every revelation.
I think that I thought I was dealing with it. And I genuinely thought...
Isn't that fascinating? That in a room filled with stars, it was a host's personal narrative that captured collective attention? And doesn't that reveal something essential about modern media consumption? That the private becomes public, and that authenticity, even when painful, trumps manufactured entertainment? Consider the cultural implications. Patrick Kielty, a man from Down, has built a career balancing humor, insight, and charm. He has navigated the tricky waters of Irish and British television, maintaining credibility and likability. Kat Deeley, a beloved ITV presenter, has similarly managed a high-profile career. Their marriage, for many...
It's good. It's crazy busy, and trying to juggle everything is really, really difficult. I'm like, even to be here for a few days, I find really, really hard. You just have to try and do the very best you can.
Seem an exemplar of balance and compatibility in the celebrity world. And now, with the split, we're invited into a rare glimpse behind the curtain. How do high-profile individuals manage personal grief under the relentless gaze of the media? How do they reclaim narrative control when speculation, social media, and tabloid headlines threaten to define their story for them? And here's where we circle back to the show itself. The Late Late Show toy show was announced for December 5th. A reminder that the machinery of television continues. That tradition persists even in the wake of personal disruption. But doesn't that create an interesting tension? The audience cheers, anticipates a holiday spectacle, while simultaneously processing the vulnerability Patrick displayed just weeks earlier. Can joy coexist with heartbreak in a broadcast space? Can the same host who stood exposed carry the weight of national tradition with equal grace? Now, let's interrogate the psychology at play. When Patrick's voice cracked, when he teared up referencing his family, did you as a viewer lean in instinctively? Was it empathy or a voyeuristic thrill? And here's another hook. If you're intrigued by these questions about human nature, about media, about celebrity culture, hit subscribe and stay tuned, because this analysis is only deepening and the insights keep coming. There's a deeper narrative here, one about resilience, about identity, about the intersection of fame and private life. Patrick Kielty's handling of his split, his gratitude, his emotional openness, all of it feeds into a story that is larger than a single episode or even a single season. It is a story about how we, as an audience, process the collision of personal tragedy with public performance. And isn't that what keeps us coming back to television, to stories, to social media? The tension, the drama, the unresolved questions. We are drawn to it, compelled to witness it unfold, to feel a part of it, even from our living rooms. And so, as we watch Patrick Kielty navigate this intricate dance between personal pain and professional obligation, we must ask ourselves, what does it mean for the future of The Late Late Show? Will audiences continue to rally behind him? Will the show's identity become inseparable from his personal narrative? And more provocatively, does this shift indicate a larger trend in television? That hosts are no longer merely conduits for guests, but central figures whose personal lives are as compelling, if not more so, than any scripted entertainment? Patrick's Summer of Silence, followed by a public acknowledgement, is a masterclass in narrative control. It invites speculation, engagement, and empathy. It demonstrates how the careful balance between privacy and public disclosure can be leveraged to rebuild connection with an audience. And here's another hook, another invitation to you as a viewer. If you are fascinated by the ways public figures navigate heartbreak, career, and national attention, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because every twist, every comment, every appearance from Patrick Kielty carries layers we are only beginning to unravel. We must also reflect on the role of social media. With 5.4 million video views and 255,000 engagements, the digital landscape amplified what happened in the studio. Clips were shared, reactions posted, debates sparked. Patrick Kielty, in a sense, navigated not just a live audience and a studio crowd, but a sprawling digital ecosystem that analyzed every gesture, every word. How does one remain authentic under such scrutiny? How does one maintain emotional honesty while aware that every moment will be dissected and circulated endlessly? And isn't that a pressure unimaginable to most of us, yet painfully relatable in our era of constant online observation? As we continue to watch, as we continue to reflect, as we continue to question, we realize that this is no ordinary episode. This is a cultural event, a human story, and a lesson in resilience. Patrick Kielty's journey, his Late Late Show return, his vulnerability, his engagement with audiences old and new, all serve as a reminder that television is not just entertainment. It is a mirror of society, a stage where personal and public narratives collide, and a space where viewers confront their own relationship with fame, empathy, and curiosity. And so, I ask you again, were you drawn by the glitz, the celebrities, the ratings? Or were you drawn by the man, standing tall yet vulnerable, reminding us all that life continues even amid heartbreak? And as you ponder that, remember, if you want to follow every chapter of this unfolding story, every insight, every revelation, make sure to subscribe, because this narrative is far from over in the drama, the humanity. The tension continues to unfold in ways we are only beginning to grasp.